This is
and we're live. All right, hey everybody, welcome. We are playing Star Wars: Age of Rebellion. This is Diplomatic Impunity. We had episode 1 last week, but we're not able to get that recorded. So now we've got episode 2. Episode 2 is called Motion to Proceed. So we're going to start off by introducing everybody. First of all, we've got Matt. Yeah, Matt.
Hey there.
Who are you playing?
I'm Matt Levesque. I'm playing Braddock, or Shora, the Wookiee bodyguard to Senator Ayres.
Excellent. And Morgan.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm playing Argul Brentiak, a charming noble from Brental who helps out with Senator's business.
Excellent. And PK.
Hi, I am PK Sullivan, and I am playing Inid Vid, the Duros pilot who, until recently, was the Senator's chauffeur.
Excellent. Travis is joining us for the first time, and he is playing somebody mysterious who is not showing up yet until later on. So we're going to pass by. And I'm Mark. I'm the Game Master. Real quick, I am going to grab this link so that we can share it around on Twitter to let everybody know that we're playing. So I'm going to have everybody start off by rolling their force die and letting me know what the result is.
One dark side.
One dark side.
2 light side.
2 light side, yay. Last week it was all dark side.
I'm also on Morgan's train. I've got 2 light side as well.
2 light side. And then what did you get over there, Travis?
Okay, which one's my force dice?
Just the white die.
The white die. Okay, just one. 1 dark side.
1 dark side. And I also generated a dark side. So our final pool is we've got 4 light side and 3 dark side. So a pretty good balance. Things considered. Posting up on Twitter right now. We're live on YouTube with and I dropped my mouse. Okay, so when last we joined our heroes, you guys had fled Coruscant after the Senate was dissolved by the Emperor, and ended up escaping from a mysterious woman who was wielding a lightsaber, and have now been on the run. You ended up managing to catch up with an old friend of Arhul's, who is a bounty hunter known as Bosk, who managed to get you guys off of Coruscant on the Houndstooth. And last we saw you guys had jumped to hyperspace on your way to Fresia, which is the home planet of the Senator.
So how long is the trip going to be from Coruscant to Frisia?
Not long. It's about 4 hours.
Okay. That is time enough. Has everybody seen the James Bond movie Quantum of Solace?
Yes.
Yes.
Scene where Bond is just getting hammered on the plane. That's what Inid is doing.
Okay.
He will find the liquor stores on the Houndstooth and proceed to just get plastered in short order, because he has never shot anyone before this incident, and he is not taking it well.
Yeah, he's doing a number on Captain. I'm going to go ahead and have you roll. We'll do a willpower check. Got any skill that you think would apply there? You can use that.
Nope, probably just discipline, right? Or resilience.
Resilience.
It's-
Yeah.
All right, that's brawn. But, what's the difficulty?
The difficulty will be. I'm gonna say the difficulty is 2. Add to 3 because you're trying to get you're trying to get plastered. So.
Yep. Alrighty. That is 2 success and 2 threat.
Okay, so you're going to take strain, but you're not going to be inhibited enough to affect any of your future rolls. So you ended up getting, like, the strain represents your...
Me being a little wibbly wobbly.
But it hasn't affected you badly enough to... All right. What is everybody else doing? How is the Wookiee dealing with being aboard the transition ship?
Silently in the cargo hold near the senator, sharpening his rick blade.
Yeah. All right. And what is
So I'm going to be sitting sort of near the cockpit and making sure that we are jumping to the correct location and all the navigation is in order.
Okay.
As far as I can tell.
Yeah, it seems like he's actually trying to get you there. You guys offered him quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
It was 10,000, I believe.
Yeah, 10,000 addition to what we gave him already.
Yeah, addition to all the money you had.
Not all the money I had, but most of it.
Most of it, yeah. All right.
And then I'm gonna go back down to where is Eris?
She is also hanging out in the cargo hold because he didn't offer you rooms because it's a short trip. So
I'm going to go and quietly ask her. So, are we going to be able to pay for our passage?
we should be able to. I've got a few backers. There might be somebody who's able to help us out. I've been pretty good to people over the years.
Well, who should we meet up with first? If the Empire's there, we can't go to the actual officials.
I would say we should go to my house, but I'm guessing that will be if the Imperials were after us on Coruscant, they'll probably be after us there.
Especially since we got away.
Yeah, I would like to get a hold of our ship and see if they can do anything to get caught up with us.
Yeah. So was our ship our ship was on Coruscant, right? Or our
Yes. Yeah. We ended up leaving it behind because we were worried that it was going to be.
Yeah, the fighter was getting better
as well. So she says that she does know of a few nobles in the capital who might actually have be willing to harbor us until we can catch our bearings.
The capital of Cruiser, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, look.
I'm going to bring up the Wikipedia article right now.
I'm crazy. You're lucky that cell phone
when you guys drop out of hyperspace a short time later, who is anybody on the bridge at all?
I like to think that Enid has drained the last half of a bottle of whiskey, and is now sort of just hanging out with the last rocks glass, just sort of peering over Bosk's shoulder, maybe making small comments about how well he plotted the course and that there was a better way and things like that.
he looks over his shoulder at you and says, I'm assuming you're going to pay for all that.
Well, I'm sure someone will.
So you drop out of hyperspace, and you notice that there seems to be a great many number of Star Destroyers hanging out over the planet. The planet is under interdiction.
Yeah, anything more than one is a great many in
Yes.
Enid's opinion. Okay, so Enid is going to punch the intercom and call for the senator and say, we have a problem.
What's the problem?
Star Destroyers in orbit.
Wonderful. So she comes running up to the bridge and sees, and she is not happy at all. You guys get a hail coming in from one of the Star Destroyers. It says, "Attention, unknown ship. This planet is under interdiction. Turn around now and return to where you were coming from."
Well, leaving doesn't sound like such a bad idea, but I don't think we should go back to Coruscant.
Well, luckily we don't have to tell them where we just came from.
What's that?
I said, luckily we don't have to tell them where we just came from.
Yeah. They, the voice over the intercom says, who do you have on board? What supplies do you have on board, and what's your manifest? Send over your manifest so we can check over your charts. And Boss looks at Enid there.
What, you're a bounty hunter. Do you exactly keep a manifest? I mean, do you have a list of everybody you've got barred up in the hole? I don't know.
He says, I like to keep a manifest of anything that is on the up and up. It helps produce questions.
Hey, get off of
And
it.
as far as I was concerned,
Hold it.
you were on the up and up.
Well, that what part of paying you under the table even implies we're? Oh my god!
You didn't say otherwise. Seems like you've got quite the bounty on your head.
Well, this is charming. Let's see. Is there any way that I could quickly make a fake manifest and send it over? Maybe deleting a few items from the one Bosk has listed, or pull up one that's a little more out of date.
Yeah, I'm going to need a computers check from you for that.
Yup.
Because he doesn't have it all locked down or anything, it's just going to be an average check. But so it's going to be a purple, and it'll also be a red, because there is the chance that something terrible could go wrong.
Okay. I'm going to flip one of those for destiny points.
Okay.
To upgrade my check.
Okay. What's your check going to be normally?
Normally it is 3 green, so now it is 2 green and a purple, or 2 green and a yellow against 1 purple and 1 red.
Okay.
Well, that is a wonderful mix of 5 successes and 3 threat.
Okay. So, you do succeed. In fact, you were really fast on going through and deleting everything, but unfortunately, you end up in a few places like leaving stray like letters in there. When you were like deleting sections, you left like random letters, so it looks, even though you're able to get it done quickly, it wasn't done really, really well.
Right. I imagine like if it's a spreadsheet, I just delete things out of the cells and don't delete the lines on
Exactly.
the spreadsheet so that there's just gaps.
There's gaps in it. A few places you didn't end up removing the calculations, so like the scrambled calculation code shows up there and things like that. So yeah, it's not great, but just as you send it, that's when you really notice.
Oh well,
It's
man. Always exactly when you hit send, that's when you notice things are wrong.
Exactly, and there's no recall. So the voice of the transmission says, "Stand by." And there's silence.
At that point, I would start charting a path out of here using astrogation.
Okay.
Just sort of laying a quick jump to a nearby system so that we can recalculate and bounce further away.
Is there any way past those ships?
I mean, you can try to go past them, but if you try to get past, they're going to probably try to fire on you, most likely. Like from what you're able to see, there's 3 Star Destroyers. There's probably a couple more located around the backside of the planet as well.
Okay.
So they've all mobilized pretty swiftly to lock down the Senate, like they had been planning on this.
Why on earth would they want to blockade the home planet of Incom? I have no idea. Doesn't make any sense.
The home planet of the X-Wings. So it's going to be an average check because you're in the core, so it's pretty well charted. Where are you trying to jump away to?
I don't exactly have a map. Someplace nearby. Actually, Corellia might not be a bad idea if we're in the core.
Yeah.
Corellia can't be that far.
No,
and
pretty close.
I mean, if we are now officially outlaws, what better place?
Exactly.
Anywhere?
Plus, that puts us relatively close to Duro. So, yeah, let's go for Corellia.
Okay, so yeah, it'll be an average check against your astrogation.
Woo, okay. With my benefit from the talent I have, as a Duro, I get to add one advantage to every astrogation check.
Oh, okay.
That gives me 1 success and 2 advantage.
Okay, yes. So you have successfully, or you're in the middle of charting the course. It's going to be successful. It's going to be a few minutes. It's going to be about a minute before you're able to fully get it finished calculating. Would somebody else like to do something to stall?
Sure. I will get on the horn and ask the guy, so what is all this about? What's going on?
I'm afraid that's classified. We've been looking over your records, and we're going to need to bring you in to clear up some discrepancies. We'll be sending TIE fighters in to escort you in.
Fantastic.
So,
can you tell us what's wrong exactly? Maybe we can clear it up without all the hullabaloo. I mean, if you're going to stop us here, we better. We're going to cost a lot of money trying to get our trades through. If we can't stop here.
I'm afraid not. We'll stand by. And
is there a roll I could make or anything I could try to?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a diplomacy roll.
Okay.
Is diplomacy a thing? Yeah, right. Charm, a charm roll.
There is charm. There is deception.
And negotiation.
Oh yeah, negotiation. I say you could do a charm or negotiation. You're not trying to lie to him because you're just like, hey, let's clear this up over the.
Yep.
So go ahead and give me either one of those.
Okay, what's the difficulty?
It'll be a difficulty of 3 because he doesn't want to.
3 purple.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I've got 2 successes.
2 successes. So you watch the TIE fighters deploy from the Star Destroyer, but then they just sort of like are hanging out around the Star Destroyer. And he says, it appears there's some holes in your manifest here. Perhaps we could, instead of bringing you on board, we could send out a squad of stormtroopers to take a quick look rather than bring you into the Star Destroyer for questioning.
Well, I will not be on the comm. What do you think, guys?
I don't know. Lie casual. Sorry. Couldn't help myself.
That's fine.
Enid will give him basically just an update on how long we need to finish plotting the course.
Okay.
You got about 30 seconds left.
All right. Well, then, I mean, they're going to have to get a group of transports out here anyway. So, yeah, let's say, yeah, that'd be great. That's a real help.
Stand by. It'll be about 10 minutes before we're able to round up a complement of stormtroopers.
Will do.
All right. So it's about 30 seconds later that you hear a little ping, and are you gonna like get the hyperdrive spooling to fire?
Well,
I'm just navigating.
Yeah.
Bosk is flying.
Right. How does Bosk feel about this particular?
He says, I'm not a fan of stormtroopers, but I'm gonna need a bit more if I'm taking you elsewhere.
Of course he is.
5,000.
Another 5,000.
Another 5,000.
Okay.
I mean, what's another 5,000, guys? Really?
Not much.
Really not anything, considering we don't have the first 10. That's not spoken. That's
Not
just
spoken aloud, yeah.
yeah. That's internal monologue.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
All right. So you are at 15,000.
Yep.
All right. He says, all right. So he begins flipping a couple of switches, and the voice comes over the system saying, it looks like you're spooling up your hyperdrive. Halt! And the TIE fighters begin to move towards you just as you jump into hyperspace. So it's going to be now a couple more hours before you're able to make it there. I'm going to run and grab a book really quick, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to grab this book to account for this.
All right. So who do we know on Corelli?
Excuse me, I'm going to grab that same book.
I hope it's somebody's character.
And there we go. All right. How does the Wookiee feel about being stuck on this ship a little bit longer?
Not great. I was just going to say, as you were rolling back, Senator Cal is definitely getting a low-tone earful of Wookiee grumbling. Just sort of a general stream of consciousness that's been running for the last hour or so. Grumbling in Chewok, just not happy. Sad noises, noises. Still working on.
She says, I know. We'll get you off this ship soon enough.
He nods sagely.
Hey, quick question. How much would it just be a Destiny point flip to declare that Enid has a Drawl ex-girlfriend? on Corellia?
Yeah, I'll let you flip it. Okay. All right. What's her name?
Her name is going to be Selva. Selva.
Selva.
Yep.
Draw X. All right. Sounds good. That's one thing they don't actually address too often in Star Wars is interspecies romance. There's that one couple at the cantina,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, that's not really brought up too often.
Not really. And
There's
go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I was going to say there's Horn and the Stallone in the X-Wing books.
Yeah. Also, Gavin
And it was the chief
Darklighter
of both of them.
and the Bothan. I forget her name.
Oh yeah, that's true. And then there's and near humans. I don't think really count because
No,
Because that's how you get there.
Skywalker and the Zeltron. But Zeltrons are,
Zeltrons.
Yeah.
Okay, so this time you guys drop out of hyperspace, and there is the exact same situation. No, it's not the exact same situation. You
I hope not.
jumping around the galaxy. Every single planet has a bunch of star destroyers, and this one has a single star destroyer. Pretty standard fare. The thing is that Corellia is so busy with so many planets and everything that they don't. Like, there's basically not really much they can do anyway. So they just,
Yeah, I imagine Corellia's just. I mean, Corellia's important. It's a major trade hub, and it's also strategically important. So,
and
keeping
they
a star
won't
destroyer
piss
here
off the locals too bad with this planet. So, yeah. So you guys arrive, and Bosk says, "So when am I getting my money?"
Well, we're going to have to talk to some people to get it.
I'm gonna need some sort of collateral.
Such as?
This conversation is happening in the cockpit.
Yeah, this is happening up in the cockpit. Well, you've got two options. I can hold on to the Wookiee for you, or I can hold on to your pretty senator.
Well, so did you tell us about your Drowlick's girlfriend?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We're not necessarily on the best of terms. I think it was an awkward breakup.
Okay. So I'm going to ask the senator if she knows anybody on Corellia that might be able to pay.
She says, I'm not very familiar with Corellians. If you need me to stay behind, I can.
Well, if you stay behind, what's to keep our good friend Bosk here from turning you into the Empire?
I can handle myself.
Does she even have a blaster now?
No, she asks for one.
Well,
Enid will happily offer his back to her.
Okay. What type of blast? Is that a holdout or?
Yep, it's just a holdout.
does that leave you blasterless?
Yes. But again, Enid is kind of fine with that in his current state.
Okay.
Also, this will just lead to more interesting play as we get into problems.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so you guys are going to depart. I guess you guys. Okay, I guess you have to get to the planet first. So you guys come down and end up landing in one of the main spaceport hubs in the capital of Corellia, which is
Coronet City.
Yeah, Coronet City.
I was guessing.
Was that? Okay.
No. Nothing important.
I'm going to switch over to the legend side of Wikipedia because...
So I think Selva is going to fit into Enid's backstory in that she is either part of or runs a swoop gang.
Okay.
And Enid, being the adrenaline junkie pilot that he is, that was his whirlwind, like youthful indiscretion was running with them for a while.
Okay, that makes sense why you have the driver skill and all that. So, okay. So you guys land and depart the ship. As you guys turn away, the senator issues a little salute with the blaster and says, "Good luck, hurry back."
Yeah. As we're leaving, Shortick, the bodyguard, will voice his loud displeasure about leaving the senator with a filthy transition.
How much is her bounty?
Not
Her bounty? We don't know.
We don't know.
Well, I have an idea of where we could go to find out.
Yeah. I was just wondering if, because did Bosk say he looked her up and found out that she was worth something, or?
He certainly made implications to that end.
Yeah.
All right.
If he does, I'll skin him alive.
Nice leather boots.
That's a bit of a reversal.
Yeah. So, is there a way to?
Okay, Enid is just realizing that nobody else here has really been to Corellia. So
That's not. I may have been to Corellia as well.
does anyone else know people here?
I always know people.
Because, like, I spent a couple of years on Corellia, and I've got sort of this ex-girlfriend who might be able to help us. She certainly doesn't have any love for the Empire, but we may not have parted on the best of terms.
Well, I'm sure that was years ago.
Yeah, yes.
Bet she probably remembers now.
Breeze through
Oh,
the trees, I'm sure.
what was that?
Breeze through the trees. What he's saying, sort of like water to the bridge
Gotcha.
by now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go see Selva.
Well, does Selva happen to have 15,000 credits lying around?
I'm actually fairly certain she does. Whether she would be happy to share them with us is, well, that's another story.
Okay. So do we know anybody else in the rebellion besides Eris, or can we just make that up as we go, or what's the deal on that?
Know any other what?
Other people in the rebellion?
Depends on you guys' backs. Are all of you guys actually like working for the rebellion, or were you just working for the senator?
I'm working for the rebellion.
Then yeah, you know some. Was Enid also involved with the rebellion, or just working as her driver?
Enid was just working as the driver, but he was being felt out by the rebellion and had sort of put two and two together because he's no fool.
And then what?
And we also sort of accidentally established that he had found out she was sympathizing with the rebellion and had been visiting high command or whatever.
Yeah, so you've probably seen a few, like, here and there. Then Matt, was Shortuck involved at all? So you just
No, simply as a bodyguard. He just doesn't the Empire now.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, Morgan, if you wanted to know some rebellion members.
Okay. Well, let's check out your ex first, and I'll see about. I'll put out some feelers for contacts if we need them later.
Okay. So you're able to you end up making a call, and it does looking for her, and you manage to do so, but you end up only getting a hold of her major domo, who appears to be somebody you've never met before.
Well, it has been a few years.
Yeah. You're unable to tell what race he is or anything based on the voice on the other end of the comm.
Okay. So it's sort of a, look her up, call that number, get this major domo on the line. So basically her receptionist right now?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. This is Inadvid calling, trying to reach Selva. I'm back on Corellia. I was hoping to reconnect and talk about old times.
What's the name again?
Inadvid.
Hmm.
She may have mentioned me as Legs.
Legs. Let's see here.
It's a long story.
I doubt it.
Okay, yeah, I got a Legs here. You said Inid?
Yeah, that's me.
All right. What is it you need exactly?
Well, I was hoping that I could talk to her about some mutually beneficial business arrangements.
I'll call you back in an hour. Let you know.
I look forward to it.
I'll tell you where to meet up.
All right.
So, like, after they hang up, and it's just like, what? I'm not a liar. I don't know what I was doing.
No, but let's head to Treasure Ship Row.
You have been to Corellia.
Yes.
Everybody give me a perception check real quick.
What's the difficulty?
What's that?
Difficulty?
Just a second. I will let you know in just a moment. Once I get a message back from somebody. Oh, we lost Morgan. Gave up. All right. Give me. Okay. It is going to be a difficulty of 2 red and a purple.
Ooh. All right. I have a completely neutral result with 2 advantage and 3 threat.
Okay.
So just one threat. Those don't.
Yeah.
Those cancel out.
Right. Yeah, 1 threat then.
Okay. Then you don't notice.
1 failure.
Okay.
I got 2 successes and 1 threat.
Okay. So, let's see. Okay, you were saying page 128. Might work for this. You, Arhol, end up, you spot a shape moving across the rooftops. That seems to be moving right along with you guys.
So, don't look down.
What?
I said don't look down.
Where? What?
And you all looked down, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. What I really didn't want you to do was look up. Now, don't look up.
Oh, no, the Wookiee looked.
Something's chasing us. We've got a shadow. We haven't even been on planet for more than a couple of minutes. I don't suppose your ex-girlfriend is that good.
Well, I don't think she hates me that much.
Right. So I don't have a sense of who it might be or what it might be.
No.
Okay.
It's it sort of like keeps like appearing over the roof, looking your direction, but you can't make out who or what it is at all.
Okay. So I'm not stealthy. Anybody like stealthy or able to sneak up on somebody?
No, not so much. I mean, I have lots of agility.
Okay. Well, let's go find a cafe and wait to see what happens.
Okay. So you end up coming around a corner and finding a small cafe. It is part of a galactic chain. It's got the image of a mermaid on it. And step inside.
All right.
I think Enid is starting to feel a bit hungover. He is going to go order the largest calf they have.
Okay.
One bantha-sized calf.
All right. And then you guys just going to wait in there?
Yeah, until the call comes. Although I'm keeping an eye out on the roof. Are they camped out up beside us, or are they somewhere else?
You can't see them now.
Okay.
So it's sort of gone, like you had been noticing that you were being followed in some way, but then basically as soon as you guys stepped into the cafe, when you peeked back out, you didn't see anything. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's gone.
Okay.
Mhm. So we're being hunted.
What's that?
So we're being hunted, the Wookiee says.
Yeah?
Well, something was following us.
Yeah.
So,
Enid shows up with his massive calf. Probably just a cut purse or, pickpocket.
well, I hope that's all.
I mean, we are on the row. This place isn't exactly friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Could I make a knowledge warfare roll to set a trap for Stewart?
Set up a trap?
Like to figure out a tactic to lure that person towards us so that we could.
Yeah, go ahead
Honor
and
them.
give me a roll for that.
What's the difficulty?
It'll be a difficulty of, say it's difficulty of 3. 3 purple.
Okay. Do we still have a destiny point to spend?
There should be 2
Yeah,
light side points left.
2 light side and 5 dark side.
All right. I'm gonna flip one of those to upgrade my roll by 1.
Okay. Okay.
And net result of 3 threat, no success.
Okay. So you think and think and think and try to figure out what it is that you could do to try to set up some sort of way to entrap or lure in your enemy. But here in this urban setting, with so many people around, you aren't able to figure out exactly what it is you need to do to lure him in.
All right. I make a dismayed Wookiee noise and all these buildings around. I don't know how to turn predator into prey.
Okay. And so you guys are sitting there without any type of activity for before you end up getting a call.
Is this Enid?
It is a call to Enid, yes.
This is Enid.
How's it going, legs?
Ah, Fuzzy. So good to hear from you.
You always were a bit fuzzy.
So I was hoping we could talk. I have a business proposition for you.
Interesting. I have a business proposition for you as well. One of my racers recently came down with a very unfortunate case of smashing into a wall, and
I hear that's going around.
it is, and he's lost 1 or 2 limbs, and we've got a big race coming up today.
Well, I'm a little without a speeder at the moment.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But if you want to do business with me, I'm going to need to do business with you.
What's the race?
Oh, it's simple. It's just a few quick laps through the city, and it's nothing fancy at all.
Okay, what's the purse?
I don't think you need to worry about that.
Okay, well,
Now let's hear your business.
well, so Enid's going to sort of stall for a moment. Okay, so I seem to have lied myself into a hole. What do you do when this happens? And he's looking right at Arkul.
Not at. Okay, it's me. Okay.
Yeah.
Really, I think the Wookiee has a lot to add to. I feel like you've gotten into these sort of situations before. What would you do?
I mean, did her racer lose 1 or 2? That's his first question.
What's that?
That's not helping, Shora. Okay. So I've got some friends who are going to be in need of some hard to come by merchandise, and a lot of it. Thought you and your associates might be able to help transport and verify shipments.
Sounds interesting. It also sounds like you're not telling me everything I need to know.
Oh, come on. I'm never going to tell you everything without you buying me dinner first.
You always were a charmer. I'll send you my coordinates.
Sounds good.
And your data pad lights up with a message from her.
Okay. Bloop, bloop.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
So once the call is done, and it's just going to be like, this is so stressful. How do people lie all the time? I don't get it.
Well, the first thing is, don't think of it as lying.
How should I think of it?
You're telling the truth at the moment.
Okay. And it is going to ruminate on that for a while.
It's confusing.
Yeah. I'm getting that. All right. So, hey, any idea as to whether our potential rebel allies are going to need arms shipments shipped through Corellia anytime soon? Because I seem to have started that deal.
Yes, that's how you're planning to get us the credits?
No, I'm hoping that the purse will cover the credits. I was just trying to get a meeting.
Seems to be taking the purse. Didn't you get from that conversation?
Yeah. There's still some negotiation that needs to happen. I'm hopeful. I remain hopeful.
Well, that makes one of us.
What's that?
So that makes one of us.
Okay. So.
Well, I suppose the worst comes to worst is we pool all our last credits into one throw of the trans cubes at one of the casinos. If this doesn't work out. So there's always that.
The odds of success there are astronomically poor.
Yep. But we're on Corellia, so who knows?
I mean, if we're gonna bet,
really quick, Argyle had been looking up at one of the rooftops, like
yeah,
where you last seen him, and then out of the corner of your eye, like across the street, you notice a movement on the rooftop over there, just out of the corner of your eye before it's gone.
So where are we meeting her?
It's in a back in the shipping yards.
Okay, it's back in the shipping yards.
Yeah.
Cool. We should get there. But what I think we should do is figure out where the guy on the rooftops is likely to go at that particular spot on the map. And we'll have our Wookiee meet him there ahead of time.
I like this plan.
It's a good plan.
I'm glad.
It's a lot better than me trying to lie my way into a business meeting. I've somehow managed to not get the racing purse and set up a deal that I don't have yet. I am really bad at this.
But you are good at racing, right? I mean, you could win the race.
Oh, I mean, I could. I wouldn't write it off.
Mm-hmm.
A very confident attitude.
There's a lot of factors. I don't know who else is racing. I don't know the course. I don't even know what speeder I'll be riding.
All good things to bring up at the meeting.
Yes, that's something I am hoping to do.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
right. So we've got a. What was that?
Shora says to Enid, also not the judge, but you smell kind of like booze.
That's because I've been drinking a lot.
All right. So yes, can we work out a location that the shadowy figure is likely to be at and send the Wookiee ahead?
Well, it looks like the shadowy figure has been following you guys. So,
Right, but if we split up,
yeah.
and the two of us go to that meeting, and he sort of heads back to the ship because it's backed by the spaceport, hopefully the shadowy figure will follow us, and he can get up to one of the rooftops near the place we're going to,
Mhm.
and then get him from there.
Okay.
All right.
So, Shora heads back towards the ship while you guys move off into the crowd.
To get up to the rooftop, or is it a steam at that point?
Give me a streetwise check. You should be able to find a way onto the roof without having to like do elaborate climbing or anything. It's just finding the right fire escapes and stuff.
Also, Wookiee.
Okay. Right. What's the difficulty?
It'll be a difficulty of 2.
One success, one threat.
Okay. You do manage to find it. Manage to get up onto the rooftops, but you end up with a little bit of strain.
Okay.
And then you other guys are heading back towards the shipping yards.
So is it a dinner spot, or is it a warehouse?
It's like a whole. It's like a warehouse district. She wanted to meet it like at the corner of like a juncture where there's a bunch of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out that up to this point, Enid has not told people that she is Drawl.
Yeah.
But you called her fuzzy.
Right, but I mean, there are any number of species that are furry and or fuzzy.
It's true.
Okay. So, you,
Hey, I'm messaging you right now. So just 1 second for you to continue. Mark.
Yeah. So you end up making your way through the winding streets over to the general shipping district, and after a while, you're like working your way through all of the winding warehouses and everything until you end up finding your way to this corner. So you end up arriving at the corner, and you're standing there, and there's nobody there. It's just dead. Shordick, you are moving across the rooftops, and you're able to see off sort of in the distance something moving across the roofs.
To go to school, be with other kids.
You're able to see stuff moving.
Excited about school? Yeah.
Travis, we're getting a lot of noise on that side. Right?
Yep, let me mute it. Sorry, it's the kids.
It's been fun, right?
So so yeah, you're able to see a shape sort of moving off in the distance.
Okay. I'm gonna step up my pursuit of that shape. Can I roll athletics to try and double up on it?
Okay.
Like get there quicker or follow it quicker.
Okay.
What's the difficulty?
It'll be a difficulty of 2. There. Go ahead and make one of those a red though, because there's always the chance that you stumble off the roof,
Sure.
break your neck and die.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's great. Hold on a second.
Best Wookiee ever.
Uh, 3 success, 1 threat.
Okay.
So the possibility of falling off the roof is there.
Okay. So you clamber across the rooftops, and you end up moving in closer. And you move across, you're sort of pursuing him, in getting closer and closer, and he ends up. You can see him in the warehouse district, sort of like looking down on a corner that you would assume is the same corner that that your team is on.
Okay.
But you're still a little bit distant from him. You can't quite make out who it is.
Am I within a range band of him?
I think right now you're in extreme. You can move up to long.
Okay. I'll move up to long for now
Okay.
and just keep walking.
Yeah. So down on the ground, you guys hear the distant humming of swoop bikes.
Oh, here she comes.
Okay. As you are as you're standing there, you like are off going. The streets of the district go down in perfectly straight lines, a few miles, with only an occasional speeder you're able to see, and you notice dust beginning to stir up off in the distance where the humming's coming from, and it's getting closer and closer. Up on the rooftop, you see that hooded figure, Shordick, sort of still leaning over, and give me a perception check.
Everyone or just me?
Just Shordick. You guys are paying attention to the...
Okay.
Okay. And what's the difficulty on perception check?
It's going to be difficulty 2. Yeah, difficulty 2.
All right. 3 success and 2 threat.
Okay. So at this point, so it's no longer me trying to text and everything. Travis, go ahead and join in at this point.
Yay.
Okay. So you notice that the figure is fairly small. He's got a dark cloak on, but you sort of moving in to get a better view, he ends up noticing you behind him.
Whoops. I assume I'm kind of like looming over him at this point. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, you're still at like long range, but you know, you moving across the rooftops and stuff wasn't super quiet, and you are really large. So even though like you're
right.
Yeah. Just as he notices, that's when the swoop bikes come into view. There's a drawl, and there's a Rhodian and a human who looks like he's missing about half of his face. It's just completely shredded up. End up coming around the corner, or coming out of the dust and everything, and begin like driving circles around you guys, stirring up dirt everywhere.
And it's gonna
Around our guys?
What's that?
Around our guys? Like around them?
Yeah, around them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is going to tell Arhul, don't flinch. It'll be worse if you flinch.
Okay.
And then slowly the bikes begin to slow down, and they stop, and the dust is still kicking up, and it slowly begins to settle. You guys know what a drawl is? Basically, kind of like a
Sort of like a sentient woodchuck that's like 4 feet tall.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a what are the names of those? The largest rodents, kind of like
Capybara.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a capybara too, but like a woodchuck's a good description too. Basically, yeah. So it's bipedal.
What's a woodchuck?
Woodchuck. A woodchuck like a gopher.
Groundhog.
Oh,
Groundhog. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
groundhog.
Yeah.
sorry. I'm like a woodchuck. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking Star Wars. I was like, what?
Oh yeah. So she steps off and says, "Hey, Fuzzy."
I called her Fuzzy.
Oh, you called her Fuzzy? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she called
I
me
thought you were
like.
saying that you were a little fuzzy from like.
Oh,
Okay, never mind. She
No,
says,
no.
"Hey, Legs."
Fuzzy. It's been a while.
It has. And back up to the roof. What are you guys doing? You've now noticed each other.
I'm gonna start by pulling my bowcaster off my hand.
Your audio's breaking up.
To long range. Pull my bowcaster off my back. Move from long to medium range.
Okay.
So, in the amount of time it takes him to do that, can I do what I texted you a second ago? You can describe it however you want to. Down to the circle of them.
Okay. So you draw your thing, and he jumps off the roof.
No. So I sprint at him. I
didn't
sprint-
give you that.
Oh, you're okay. You just
you
need to
said
jump off.
force leap. Oh, see, that's what you're doing with the leap. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? You describe it. I don't know what you're doing. You're just telling me.
Okay. I'll describe it. So when you draw with my success and the 2 advantages,
Yeah.
I actually run at you and use your knee and your bowcaster to like leap off of you down into where the bikes had just pedaled around, had just spun around our grouping, and stand directly next to the senator.
Well,
The scoundrel?
Scoundrel. Yeah.
Okay, so you're drawing your bowcaster when he runs towards you, and for a second you're able to see furry, like
Gray.
a furry gray face with long ears, and he like runs and like leaps off and goes over the edge. He lands right next to our hole.
Enid flinches.
yeah, I'm going to be surprised. I'm going to look at the drow. This is also. Do I recognize the cloak?
Yeah, it looks like the cloak that had been following you guys.
I'm going to sort of jump back in surprise and go, "Who are you?"
I turn to him and just kind of like take my ears and like just they kind of tilt in to hear him better.
Mm-hmm.
And I remove my cloak, the hood,
Okay.
and just describe myself as Vrabel, the paladin, here for your protection.
He is small. He's shorter than a Jawa, and he's got furry gray. He's furry and gray, and he's got like long ears that have little tufts on the top. I'm guessing at least Enid and Arhol should know.
We're looking at a chatter fan.
No, he has a little upturned nose. This is a squib,
Okay.
which are tiny little rodent people.
Squid.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're usually known as scavengers.
Yeah. I've heard of them.
Yeah. And the swoop gang seems a bit taken aback too by this sudden tiny guy. And she says, "Is this your whole party?"
Plus
Pretty
one.
much.
What's the Wookiee doing?
I'm just going to creep to the edge of the roof and keep an eye on the situation, still with my bowcaster drawn.
Okay. She looks up and sees you up there and says, "Him as well?"
As I said, pretty much.
All right.
I mean, you can't miss.
8 foot tall Wookiee now. Or 8, yeah.
Hmm. She says, "So, what exactly are you offering here in it?"
Well, as you may have heard, the Senate has been disbanded, and the senator I have been working with, Eris from
Phrygia.
Frisia, is somewhat involved with the Rebel Alliance. We are going to be establishing a number of trade deals as the Civil War starts up. And I figured if anybody could be interested in getting in on the ground floor of some trade deals, it would be my old friend in Selva.
Just friend?
Well, lately, it's been a while.
Too long.
Well, I've been busy. The galaxy's been going to crap, and I've been doing what I can.
I'll tell you what. I will consider your deal. And mind you, it's only consideration because I don't want to end up on the wrong side of the Empire.
I can understand that.
If you end up running this race for me, you always were the best pilot we had.
Well, not to be modest, but yes, I was.
By the way, what is your actual piloting?
For planetary, it is 2 yellow and 2 green.
That's pretty good. All right. Like
It's not bad.
You have like 2 green, and like this is a really bad swoop gang. If that's the best they got. All right.
Now we're starting level characters. What do you want?
What's that?
We're starting level characters. What do you want?
Yeah. She says that there's a gang that has challenged them to a race. It's called the Dragonbane Circuit. The gang is the Black Seraphs.
That sounds all sorts of friendly.
Yes. They're very charming, and they're trying to encroach on our territory. So we had challenged them, and then one of our best pilots ended up getting himself squished against a wall.
Now, was that an accident on his part, or was it manufactured by someone?
I'm sure that they were involved in some way. So we'll need you to head out to the circuit. We'll go with you and provide you with a swoop, and hopefully we can resolve our differences like civilized folk.
Like civilized folk, indeed.
Have you driven out in the crystal swamps before?
I mean, if I ran with the swoop gang, I've at least casually done it, like as Not in a race, but
Yeah.
out on my own.
Yeah. Okay.
For funsies.
All your friends are welcome to come watch your humiliation if you end up getting yourself killed.
Such little faith.
Can I get a read on?
Got a little money riding on this one, so I hope you live up to the reputation you once had. As you said, it's been a while.
Can I get here's now?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a check. It'll be a difficulty of purple and 2 red.
And this is perception.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I got a triumph and I got a threat.
Okay. So she appears to be on the up and up, but she also doesn't appear to be telling them the whole truth. So it doesn't look like she's trying to deceive anybody. She's just lying by omission.
Okay. So what sort of purse are we looking at for this race?
It's 20,000.
20,000.
Yes. However, I'll be taking half.
And anything my good pilot friend here should be on the lookout for?
Well, yawn. The race is going to be taking place out in the crystal swamps. There are a few interesting locations along the way, including a section called the Pillars of the Sky, which has a whole forest of dead trees, and then the Razor Blades, which is how the Crystal Marsh gets its name. Also, the gang is known to sometimes lace the track with, let's say, some extra difficulty.
Okay.
They tend to trap the races, which is why we don't trust them very much. But at the same time, we can't exactly do anything about it. Otherwise, we'll lose face by refusing to race them. So it's something to keep an eye on. Of course, they don't set them up too well, and often their own pilots will end up being taken out because of it.
Well, that's exciting. What am I going to be flying?
This baby right here, and she smacks the side of her swoop. You better not bring it back damaged.
I'll do my best.
So, let's see. There are 4 of you. However, one of you is really tiny, so he can also fit onto another speeder if you guys want to allow this stranger to go with you.
Yeah, I'm going to have a word. So, I'm sorry. What did you say your name was again?
Vrabel.
What was that?
Vrabel?
Vrabel.
Vrabel.
The paladin, was it?
Yes.
And why are you trying to protect us?
Not particularly you, but this will do for now.
That's not an answer.
It is.
Okay. You were following us, and now you're trying to join us. I don't mean to be rude, but we are somewhat on the run. So why should we?
Well, you can either allow me to join you, or I can just continue to follow you.
Which might be difficult if you don't have a ship.
I'll just get on your ship.
Well, I have several things that say otherwise, but okay.
This is not the weirdest thing that's happened to us lately.
Well, no, it's not. Doesn't mean it's not weird.
It's been a weird week.
That it has.
There is somebody missing from your group. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Then that should give you the answer.
I see. Doesn't really help much.
As if on cue, I'm gonna jump down from the rooftop.
Okay.
Superhero
Straight
landing.
jump. with a giant wooden roar, like. So athletics check. What's the difficulty to not, injure myself and/or anybody in my landing zone?
We'll say it's a difficulty of 2. They're pretty.
Okay. And 4 success and 1 advantage.
You cartwheel and slowly everybody's like, you should be falling a lot faster than that, but you just sort of spiral and then land. No, you land just fine.
Remarkably graceful for a Wookiee my size. Is what I'm hearing.
You're breaking up again.
Oh, I said remarkably graceful for a Wookiee my
Yeah,
size is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay. So 10,000 for winning the race it is.
What's up?
I'm just agreeing to the terms of the deal. 10,000 for winning the race.
All right. Hop aboard.
Let me drive. I'm gonna have to get used to this.
This is true. So she scoots back and lets you climb aboard, and then she wraps her legs around you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust the controls.
Yeah.
So just in case Travis doesn't know, Duros are typically pretty tall, 6.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
And the draw is very short. So it is when they were together, it was a bit of an odd couple.
Are Duros always pilots? I'm playing the D20 campaign with a buddy of mine from Great Lakes, and we have a Duros in our group, and he's also an exceptional space pilot.
That's kind of the thing.
Yep,
Okay, I was when I heard that that's what you were, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Are Duros always pilots, or is this just a crazy coincidence?
Well,
they've been typecast. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we actually see a Duros pilot before we beat a Corellian smuggler in A New Hope. So
yeah, that's true.
It's established that early on.
Is there a way? Can you message inside, send a personal message to somebody? Who all speaks Wookiee here?
Everybody basically does. That's with this version of the rules. You don't actually say what languages you speak.
Oh, cool.
It's believed you basically just speak whatever the language of.
Yeah,
cool.
The rest of your party.
Yeah, just smooth things out. You speak the languages of the people you're traveling with.
Yeah.
That is
There's
awesome.
nothing worse than back in like the D6 and the D20 systems. You'd sit there and be trying to talk to other members of your party, and you just nobody at the entire table spoke Wookiee, and so because it costs
Points. Yeah.
it costs points and everything. So you're like, I don't know,
A ton of
yes, nobody
points
actually can
for
understand.
languages. So I look over to what's the Wookiee's name again?
Shora.
Well, I guess I went to Matt's name. Oh no, it's not under Matt's name.
Yeah. Here, I'll put
Jor-
it in the chat.
Shora.
Yeah, I can put it in chat.
Yep. Oh, I can't on my tablet.
Okay. Shortik?
Sure.
Shortik?
Yeah.
Okay. I looked to Shortik and oh, did we just lose him?
Nope, I'm back.
Oh, there he is. I looked to that's funny, Shora for short. I'm 5 feet tall in real life, so
Well, the look is that.
so I look to Shortik and I bow and tell him that he is not the only hairy creature protecting said person in Wookiee, so that only the group knows. And then as we begin to leave, I await for his response.
This is good. I laugh. This is amusing to me, and a good thing. I'm glad that I have that there are other people protecting. I'm glad that I have a comrade in arms protecting the senator, even
Yes.
one as small compared to Joratic the Wookiee as you.
Mhm.
This is good. He makes highly amusing noise.
If you do not mind, may I ask for a ride on your shoulder so that I don't have to ride on the speeder?
I don't see how this would cause me any dishonor. And I reach down and pick him up by his cloak and kind of piggyback him.
Okay. So because in it you are driving, the other swoop riders will lead the way, and they lead you out through the warehouse district, out of the city, out across the plains until you guys get to a large swampy area. And mist is sort of settling over everything. It's getting to be later in the afternoon, so the mist is eventually, or the fog is eventually thick enough that it like obscures the sun and everything, and it's all very gloomy and gray out here. After riding for a little bit, the swoops eventually slow down, and there's a clearing where there's a group of other swoop bike riders who are all sitting. Their swoops are different colors. There's actually it looks like there's 3 other gangs here. One of the gangs looks like this is the one of them is the Black Seraphs. All their speeders are black, and there is a like a white wing painted on the side of their speeders. And a woman gets off. She's a young Corellian woman with blonde hair. And she steps forward and she says, "Silva, I'm glad to see you showed up. We didn't think you were going to show, especially after that little accident that Lumo had." And she says, "Yes, that was very, very clever. I don't know what you're talking about." And she smirks and steps back over to her speeder and says, "So are you piloting then?"
I am.
Says, "I'd like to know your name. I always like to get the names of the people that are about to die under my watch."
Well, I hope you know the name of everybody that you already have here.
Video and book section of the Alexa app. Any
But should it come up, you can call me Enid.
The number of destiny points on the table is, you guys have 1 white.
Yep.
That's it. Says, all right, Enid. She gets her speeder all set up, and she says, Selva should have the map for you. And Selva hands you a data pad. There's a bunch of other, besides just like those who are going to be racing, there's a bunch of other gangers hanging out around the area.
Oh yeah, I mean they're expecting a good show.
Yeah. You can even, there's even a couple of the swoopers at this point who hop on their swoops and sort of speed off into the swamps to go set up and watch the race go by at other points of the race.
So I'm going to head over to the leader of the Seraphs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty nice swoop.
Yes, it is.
So is this one of those race for, what is it, greens?
What's that?
Where you raced for the each other's speeder?
No, but I might be persuaded. It's a pretty nice bike that Selva has there.
Yes, it is.
Selva says, whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, was I doing this in front of Selva? Selva is the other question.
I think the area is small enough that she's
Okay,
able to.
okay, and I'm not sure I would have said this just yet. So what do you think? You think I'm going to ask? So you're looking over the course. Do you think you can take her?
How many speeders are in the race?
There's 4 speeders, 1 for each gang.
1 for each gang?
Yeah.
Okay. While this is going out, I'm using a destiny point and will not be seen for the rest of the duration of this scene.
Okay, so you guys aren't paying attention, and he just sort of wanders off into the mist. So you assume like he's just not there. All right.
Oh,
so,
wonderful. Yeah,
the race looks pretty straightforward. There's a few areas like you're gonna have to go through a pretty choppy forest at one point. There's of course the razor blade grass. You've been to this area before, so you know that basically the blades of grass are as sharp as vibra blades.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a tightly pinched, narrow part of the track at one point as soon as you exit the razor blades, where you're funneled into a narrow crevasse. There's a big old drop near the end before you come around to a pretty open area to finish the race.
Gotcha.
Well, how do you feel your chances are, Enid?
What's that?
How do you feel your chances are, Enid?
It looks fairly straightforward. Nothing I haven't done before.
So are we doing this or what? Do I get that speeder when we're done with this?
Well, I will ask. I'll ask
Selva?
Selva.
She is like biting the inside of her cheek, and she's like, "This speeder's worth a lot. I've done a lot of upgrades to it." What was that loud rumbling?
That is the prowlers flying over my house.
Oh, yeah, he's over on Whidbey Island. So those are big giant planes going overhead. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Hey, by the way, what difficulty dice? I'm doing some mechanics on the other speeders bikes. I am on one of them. I am changing his fuel line to redirect. So the second he presses the gas, he's actually going to. Do these have weapons on them?
Yeah, they all have weapons on them.
So the second that he turns his throttle with the first bike, his throttle will not activate gas. It will actually activate his weapon one system.
Okay.
And the other one, number 2, will be his brakes are actually his right and rear brakes are actually going to be his throttle and clutch system.
Okay. It's going to be a difficulty of I'm going to say it's a difficulty of a purple and 2 red. You're going to have to roll them separately.
Yes. Okay. So a purple and 2 red for each one, correct?
Yes.
And then I'm using my toolkits. So what plus do I get off of that? It doesn't show it on my character sheet.
Having the proper tools will give you a blue die. But I'm going to go ahead and turn that purple into a red. So it's actually going to be 3 red because you're basically trying to like break their swoops right out from underneath them. So yeah, it'll be a difficulty of 3 red for that.
And this would be what skills would I be using here besides mechanics?
This would probably be skullduggery.
Yeah.
Skullduggery. Okay. Would it be skullduggery plus mechanics?
No.
Okay.
The game doesn't really do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So just a skullduggery.
Got it.
It's more about you being sneaky than you actually like. So what do you got?
I got a 2 success
2 success?
on the first roll.
Okay.
Rolling the second roll. 4 success, 1 threat, and a looks like an octagon with octagons around it.
That is a despair. So what were you rolling for good dice for that?
Say again?
What were you rolling for good dice for that check? Your skullduggery.
3 green, a yellow, and a blue.
So on the first one,
Against 3 red, correct? Or is it 3 red and a purple?
3 red.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see here. Trying to figure out the most entertaining way to use despair here.
I got it. Or
Um,
you could mix match the.
Well, what could happen is he doesn't get off the speeder in time.
yes, that's good. Okay.
So he's just hanging on to the underside of the speeder.
Yes.
And you sabotaged.
Yes. How did you sabotage the second one again?
Oh God, I'm so glad this was the one that I did not. Okay, so this one, I reversed his mechanics pretty much. So his brakes are his actual throttle and clutch. So his throttle and clutch. So like if you're on a bike, your throttle, his throttle is now his front brake, and his clutch is his rear brake,
Okay.
and his brake systems is his throttle and clutch system.
Okay. So with the first one, you're sitting there, you end up sneaking up, you're messing with it. Like he's leaned up against his bike and doesn't notice. The second one you get over to, and you are messing with it, and you are currently working on it as they're talking over here. So as far as you're concerned, you're doing just fine. So
does his like belt get caught, and that's why he can't get off?
yes, but he hasn't realized that yet. He thinks he's doing just fine.
Okay, so do we want to bet the other bike? Is I guess the question.
The Selva says that she's willing to, but if she says if I lose my bike, I've put a lot of work into this thing. I'm going to need 50,000 credits from you if I end up losing this.
Well then, I don't feel that confident because certainly Enid is not that confident or hasn't shown that level of confidence yet. So,
He technically has no idea that 2 bikes are almost disabled.
Yeah, nobody has any idea.
Nope. That's a lot of credits. But if you win,
yeah,
then we can use
I'm
that.
just going to stand behind our whole.
What's that?
Oh, I said I was just going to stand behind our whole and look at, and try to look intimidating anyway. Like, I guess come collect them. You know, if we lose.
So are you willing to make that bet?
Well, is Enid willing to make that bet is the question.
Yeah.
and it gives you a really awkward wink because that's just how Duros roll.
Yeah, they
It's
don't
like-
have eyelids, do they?
Huh? I don't know, but like he kind of like tries squinching up the flesh around his eye. Like he's trying to seem human.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound, right? I mean, might as well.
Yeah, thumbs up. Quick question.
Yeah.
What stat block should I be using for the speeder?
Let's see, which core book are you using?
I have all of them, so you.
The problem is, like right now, the books that I have, like physically on hand, I have Strongholds of Resistance and the Age of Rebellion core book. When I go back to Spokane this weekend, I'm going to be like bringing a bunch more back to give more variety. But let me see here what we got.
Let me check Age of Rebellion. They should have a number of swoops.
Yeah.
Are you
right
using the
now,
DGG
too.
character sheet? Because you can literally pull like whatever bike you want out of that.
That's true.
You could probably use the just the standard speed bike. Just the
Yeah.
AirTech
That's-
750.
You can even pull a stock vehicle off of that sheet. You can just click stock vehicle and you can pull up a stock.
There's the 74Z speeder bike on page 263.
Yeah, that's the that's what we got. What we saw on in Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, yeah. So we're going to use the stat block from that, but
Okay.
I'm going to say that it has a handling of +2,
Okay.
and an armor of 2.
Okay.
That's the upgrades that have been made to it.
Okay. So still speed 3.
Let's see. It's a speed 4.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So everybody gets lined up. The speeder that what's his name? Vrabel is
Vrabel?
attached to. It was already there at the place, so he hasn't noticed that. Like everybody else is lining
And
up. He's
piling
just
on to
diligently working away at getting this whole thing messed up, and one of the swoopers gets out in front and puts his hands up. It's like, ready? and go! And just as he shouts that, the first ganger that was messed with, his blaster rips through the guy standing up front. And everybody sort of panics, but the other pilots are too busy to notice. And plus, it was the guy's own gang, too. And they take off, but the one who is who Vrabel is attached to, he first begins to pull back on the clutch and everything. Nothing kicks in, and then he just naturally brings his feet down to move the brakes, and it surges forward. He's going to take some penalties for his piloting roles because the big opening stretch is big, huge open plane, and so he realizes what's going on, but he's going to have to compensate for it. Really quick, let's see. Are Shordick and Arhol, are you guys going to wait there at the start?
Unless there's a better place to see the race.
Yeah.
You guys could probably.
Is the other dude still blasting? Because he, if you throttle it once, it'll fire. But I'm gonna see he probably got confused and scared, and he throttled again repeatedly. So his blasters are just going haywire at the starting line.
Yeah, he's just sitting there firing until finally he lets go of the throttle. And he hops off the bike and just goes running over to his buddy and sees his smoking corpse, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna have to explain this to his wife later." You guys could get over to the place where there's the narrow crevasse by the time they get there. There's the narrow crevasse and then the big drop.
One real quick thing. Before we got started,
yes.
I just haven't had a chance to butt in. Enid is actually going to tell Shora, hey, don't look so worried. Everybody here is just as trustworthy as our host.
Wonderful.
And specifically to Shora. What's the worst that could happen?
I'm grabbing a computer charger. 1 sec.
Yeah.
There's just a low rumbling growl after that comment. I'm going to stick close to Arhol then and follow him where he wants to go.
Alrighty.
Where do you want to go to, Arhol? Do you want to stick around here, or do you want to?
I'll head to the gap.
Okay.
So while the race is going on, I'm going to see if I can contact some rebellion people for me later if this goes south.
Okay.
We may owe a lot of money to various parties, but we have a senator.
We're just going to have to implement obligation into the game.
No. Listen, you gotta be quiet.
No, it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
I have faith. I trust that we're gonna be fine. I do not have a bad feeling about it.
Sorry.
So the speeders are racing across the open run. What are you going right away?
So did we want to do initiative at all, or just make some checks for the piloting? How do you want to run that?
I think we'll go ahead and just make some checks for the piloting.
Okay.
With based on the success, that'll determine your place currently in the race.
Sure.
Just to keep
Okay.
it simple instead of going into.
Gotcha. In that case, I don't really want to use that because that'll use up all of my system strain threshold. So real quick, again, just want to get a feel. How strict are we going to be about the action economy in the game? Because like it's maneuver to increase the speed by 1 and things like that. And we're starting at 0.
Yeah, I think that with the big open stretch, you're all able to get up to full speed.
Okay.
Pretty early on in that opening stretch. So,
Gotcha. So that's just going to be narrative.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm just going to be jockeying for position.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you let me see here. If you want to try to, she ends up jumping up ahead, so she's just like a little bit ahead of you. If you want to try to overtake her now, it'll be a black die.
Okay. I kind of like that. Yeah. Arhol is, or Inid, not Arhol. Inid is going to just really open it up and try to overtake her.
Okay.
What is the difficulty here?
I'm going to say there will be no difficulty. It'll be purely based on successes. And I'll just like sort of keep track here of where successes are, and that'll determine like how far ahead certain people are.
Sure.
So, yeah. So I'm going to roll for each of them. And then...
how close is the other guy's speeder bike to them?
He's in 3rd place right now. You're hanging on the side, and you can see up ahead the 2 other speeder bikes. Because he's like...
what's the distance?
He's probably about like 150 feet back. So
okay.
he'd be long range.
He'd be long ranged?
Yeah.
I will. And my shroud is still working, correct?
Yeah. He can feel the
weight, but that's about it.
Pulling, but as far as he's concerned, like he's like looking down and like he can't really make out in like the mist that's like rolling across.
Right. So I want to do 2 things. I want to
go ahead and make a roll.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
So I want to actually pull out my, you know what, I'm actually going to attempt an athletics check and leap to the 2nd place speeder bike.
That's 150 feet you're trying to leap forward while the speeder is racing.
That's true. I'll just shoot it.
That's me. That's me.
Okay, 1st place then.
Okay, so you're dangling off the side of a speeder bike. That's going to be... It's at long range, which is normally of 3.
-1. My weapon is extreme range.
Yeah. But instead, those are going to be red because there's a good chance you're going to end up shooting your buddy. And also, I'm going to put in 2 black dice as well. The difficulty of 2 red and 2 black. PK, what'd you get for your...
5 successes and 3 advantage.
Oh, okay. So, because of that, you end up actually leaping ahead just as he's like getting ready to take the shot. So go ahead and replace one of those red with a purple die. So it's going to be a purple, a red, and 2 black.
Okay. And then what would be my dice rolls?
It's going to be your, whatever it says on your blaster there with your...
that would be gunnery.
No, he's shooting with his own
ranged.
Oh, with your own
ranged
weapon.
blaster.
Gotcha. That
ranged?
would be ranged heavy.
Yeah.
If it's a rifle.
It is, yeah.
Yes, it is. And it has...
Okay.
So, is it dark? Would my night vision scope Remove
No.
a dark dice?
No.
Okay.
This is due to the fact it's too black because you're hanging off the side of a speeder bike
Right. Got it.
going like 300 miles an hour.
Skills. Ranged heavy.
Morgan, you're trying to get a hold of the rebellion at this point, you said?
Yeah, just somebody, in case this all goes badly.
So you're like in the middle of like calling up, and the closest person you know of is over on Chandrilla. So you're hoping to like, you know,
Okay.
get in touch with the right person. And you call up, and the person answers, and they say, "Oh, hey, Arlo, let me put you on hold just a second," and hangs up. Well, not doesn't hang up, but you know, puts you on hold. Like,
Dude,
Three success, 3 threats.
3 success, 3 threats.
Yes.
All right. So, you hit what damage? How much damage do you do?
9.
9 plus is that base 9?
Yeah, base 9. Oh, what do I add to that?
You got 2 successes, or 2 successes beyond your main success, so it'll actually be 11.
Okay.
So you hit the back of the speeder bike, but in firing, it like rips you from the speeder, and you go crashing into the dirt, and the speeder
Humbling.
bikes speed off ahead of you.
Okay.
So the guy gets back on the line and says, "Yeah, what'll it be?"
What'll it be? Well, have you heard that the Senate has been disbanded?
"Yeah, we're dealing with that. It's a mess over here."
Right. So I may be in a little bit of a spot. I've got this senator, and I just want to know any sort of contact or help you might be able to offer.
He says, we're maxed out on resources. Where are you at?"
Is that really a good idea to say over the open line?
"Listen, man, I can't help you if I don't know where you are. I don't know if I have anybody nearby."
Well, I'm Corellia.
Corellia. I may have somebody. Let me go ahead and ping me with your coordinates, and I'll see if I can get somebody out there.
Sure.
All right. So he's like, "I got it," and he hangs up on you.
That's rude.
Yeah, he wasn't a nice guy. So the race ends up speeding off into the forest. There's the pillars of the sky. So there's all kinds of it's a deep, muddy, brackish swamp with a bunch of bone-colored dead trees all over the place. So you have to slalom through the trees.
woo! Speed 4, let's go.
All right. She is going to attempt to overtake you. Which
Okay.
is difficult for her. Actually, and here I'm going to need you to roll a red and a purple. This is to
Okay.
do something terrible. Ooh.
Do I still have that black die?
No, the black die was for you trying to overtake her, so no.
Okay.
This is a terrible roll.
I got 2 success and 2 advantage.
Okay, you're doing just fine. She is not doing just fine. Let's see. So after getting hit by the blaster fire, and then moving into this area. She's having trouble navigating, and she ends up clipping a tree. And you watch her sort of like jink to the side and go out into the mist as she's trying to like get control of it again. And the other pilot, that's some despair there. It's a good thing that Vrabel ended up hopping off, because he slams right into the side of a tree and just lights up. Yeah.
How far ahead of this has it happened?
It's pretty far off in the distance now. You can see the explosion, but everything's all covered in fog and everything, so it's difficult to make out. You can see the trees off in the distance.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get back a hold of his speeder. I had to roll all kinds of bad dice for him. So
yeah, I was gonna wonder what the distance between. I figured the distance between me and him wouldn't have been that great. That way, I could have maybe rolled an athletics check to knock him off of the speeder before it exploded.
No, with this, you fell off, so you were on the ground.
Right.
Speeders are going at like 300 miles an hour. So.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So.
Do I need to make an athletics check for recovery from falling off?
No, you were close enough to the ground.
Okay.
That you sort of stumbled off into it.
You probably wound up in this, like, at the edge of the swamp, just like skipping across the water for a little bit.
Yeah, you're a little damp. So right now in it looks like you're the only person in the race as far as you can tell.
All right, let's just keep it going.
Okay.
Keep up the speed, because
Set the
who knows
cruise.
where that one lady is.
Yeah. So you have now entered the razor blade grass. Let's see. I'm going to need you to make another check. It's going to be 2 black dice. And that's it. Actually, and 2 purple.
Okay. Are any of the black dice from terrain?
They are, yes.
All right. I ignore one of those because I am an all-terrain driver, and I do not suffer the usual penalties.
Okay. So it'll just be 1.
I'm sponsored by X Games.
Okay. 3 success and 1 advantage.
Okay.
That 2 handling is really helping cancel out all that threat.
Yeah. You guys end up arriving at the crevasse, like on the upper edge of it, just about that time. And you're looking down, and you can see that it sort of winds around as it comes out of the grass into this large area. And then at the end of the crevasse, there's a big, huge drop at the base of the riders have to go flying off of. And on the other side of the crevasse, you see there's a couple of gangers there on their bikes with blaster rifles.
Jerks.
Can I come like walking up towards them, towards the Wookiee and whatnot?
You're still a little ways off because you would sped off basically in the opposite direction.
Okay. Just let me know when I get to them.
Yeah. The crevasse is probably about it's about 40 feet across. So not something you can easily leap across. That you can try.
Me?
No, the other 2.
Okay.
So it's about, you said 40 feet across where they are.
What's that?
You said about 40 feet across where they are.
Yeah, 40 feet across.
Okay.
So A little more than 10 meters. Yeah.
Okay. And that puts us at which range band from then?
Mm-hmm. They haven't noticed you guys. They're busy staring at the.
Okay.
Staring down the road.
And there, how many are there?
There's 2 of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna look down at our holds. How well do you shoot?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Just fine, but provided it's within, I only have a blaster pistol. I don't have any sort of long range weapon.
How far does that go up to? Medium?
I think so.
Yeah, they're about a medium range.
That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I can take a shot.
They haven't noticed us yet. I think we can get the drop on.
Sounds like a plan.
How much longer are you guys playing?
All right. I'm on the back part of the. Good luck, and then aim caster for my maneuver before firing on one of them.
Okay.
And that's at medium range, so 2 purple.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Plus the aim die.
Yes.
Okay. Come on, dice app. 2 success, 1 threat.
Okay. Then you're going to take you said 1 threat?
It's 1 threat.
Okay. You're going to go ahead and take a strain, but how much damage does that do?
That would be 13.
13, that includes your extra.
It's 11 base plus the 2 success.
All right. Yeah, so you end up blasting him, and he ends up like sort of stumbling back and flipping over the back of his swoop as he goes down. And Arhol, you get the second shot.
All right, so I'll aim as well, and I rolled a 4 successes and 2 threat.
Not bad. So.
And how do crits work?
You have to get the same as your crit rating or higher in order to cause a crit.
Okay, well I have a 3 crit rating, so.
Oh no, but it has to be advantage.
Your number of advantages, yeah.
I'll have the advantage with the 1 success.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay, so how much damage does that do?
That's a 7.
Okay. So you blast him and hit him, but when you hit him, it ends up it's like a couple of quick shots, and one of them ends up hitting the fuel of the swoop, and it ends up blowing up. But it ends up blowing up just as Enid is entering the crevasse, and so he sees it, so it's going to distract him.
Okay. Well, sorry about that.
And just as he's beginning to like wind his way through the narrow area, just as that is happening, that's when little squib ends up showing up. So it is now time for you to navigate through there. It's going to be a difficulty of 2 purple and 3 black.
Black from terrain at all?
Black from terrain. So,
All right, so ignore 1.
But it's going to be a one more black because of the explosion.
Okay.
Sorry.
And
Oh,
I'm going to flip this.
okay. So I'm upgrading a purple to a red.
Yep.
Oh, damn it. That roll had a triumph in it.
Oh,
This one does not. It is just 6 success.
just 6
Only
success?
Only.
I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's
6 successes.
6. Safe.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought I was
Just 6.
I thought I was throwing too much at you. I was like, he's going to just end up botching this. Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, he's going to end up botching this. He's going to get down that canyon.
I have a ton of dice, right? I've got 2 green, 2 yellow, and then the 2 blue from the handling.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling 6 positive dice,
Yeah.
and I'm ignoring 1 black. So like, I'm a pretty damn good planetary pilot. Like, I'm a driver. This is my thing.
Yeah.
You can call me baby if you want.
So you come like barreling through. They're able to see you just like going all over the place. And just as you enter, looking back, they can see Sunny has also entered, the other the swoop gang leader. And she has just emerged from the grass, looking worse for wear. And she's begins spiraling around just as drop. So at the top, the narrow crevasse spits racers out over the top of the ridge into complete nothingness. So now what you're going to do is I'm going to need you to make a roll. Huh. It's only 1 black die. Not bad. So you're going to get to ignore that.
Okay.
But yeah.
I would like to do one thing real quick.
Yeah.
And that is use one of my talents
Okay.
called Full Throttle.
Okay.
Which lets me increase because this is the straightaway heading home.
This is a jump, and then you'll be moving into a straightaway, yes.
Okay. I would like to do the Full Throttle action to make a hard 3 purple piloting check to increase the vehicle's top speed by 1 for a number of rounds equal to my cunning.
Okay. I'll let you do that, but I am going to go ahead and flip one of these over again.
Sure. Then I might as well flip one as well. So I will be rolling 3 yellow.
Okay.
Gah! 2 success and 2 advantage.
All right. So you punch it, goes surging, flying off into the air, and then coming down smoothly, racing along. And that's right after that is when Sunny ends up coming up off the ramp as well.
Awesome.
So now we have the straightaway. She is going to attempt to take the lead from you.
Okay. I am going speed 5, so if relative speed matters.
Yeah, so that's gonna increase her difficulty, and all right. So go ahead and give me a straight up roll without any difficulty. I'm giving her 2 black dice to add to her difficulty, but make sure you've got your handling and all that added in there.
That. 4 and 4.
And that is enough. So she does end up coming in right behind you, but you end up crossing the finish line. And you like cruise right over the top of the body of the
of the dead
dead guy who
race starter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
like coughing and sputtering.
So in the middle of all that happening, the Wookiee just felt like this wetness climb up his back. And like he's like partially damp now, the Wookiee is like over his shoulder. Like as if like a rain cloud showed up above his shoulder and just like kind of rained for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sort of rolls up to Selva and says, "See, not even a scratch."
I'm impressed. It takes a lot to impress me.
Well, I remember.
So Sunny pulls around and they all stop and end up like pulling up. The two other gangs are they just sort of like get on their bikes and wander off. One of the gangs goes to pick up a smoldering corpse of their buddy off in the swamps.
Yeah. Enid is going to sort of swing around and position himself so that the blaster cannon on his speeder is pointed at Sunny.
Okay.
I mean, just like turn around to face Sunny, but also clearly don't try any shit.
Yeah. Which she was beginning to reach for her blaster right around the time that now there's a light blaster cannon focused on her. And she just slowly stops and turns and glances at it for a second. And then drops her shoulders and is like, well, I suppose this is yours.
I suppose so.
And
tell you what, I'll
Yeah.
sell it back to you for 15,000.
it's not worth 15,000.
Fair enough.
How about 5?
She turns to one of her guys and nods, and he reaches out and pulls out a credit chip and hands it over.
I'm
It's a good
assuming
thing-
it's 5,000.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
You're lucky I was actually going to have her pull the wires on it, like just yank the wires out. So she's lucky that she didn't do that before you. Okay, so you now have your 15,000 that you owe, boss.
I will be right back 1 second. Can you use the restroom?
Can you use that little light?
15,000 that you owe, boss. And you have the undying thanks of a very sexy drawl.
Honestly,
that kind of thing.
he has a pretty impressive personality.
Yeah, that's what counts. All right, so she says, "Thanks. I honestly wasn't expecting you to make it out of this alive."
You never did know how to trust me. That's
It's
probably why
true.
we didn't work out in the end.
Me too. And she hands over 10,000 credits to you.
Much obliged. Mind if we hitch a ride back to Coronet City?
Sure thing. And
What a miss.
as you guys are beginning to take off, the other gang, as you guys speed off, you hear blaster fire. And looking over your shoulders, it's you see the other gang members gunning down Sonny.
That right there is why I got out of the life.
So you guys manage to arrive back at Cornet City, and she drops you off in exactly the same spot as she picked you up at.
I'm going to send a message to the senator.
Yeah.
And do a sort of surreptitious, not a full-on call, but a, hey, how's it going? Is everything okay? Signal?
Everything's fine here.
Still on plan?
Travis, can you mute that?
Yeah, sorry. Airplanes?
Yeah. What was that?
Oh, it's gone now.
Still on planet?
Yes. He's been quite a gracious host.
I bet. I will pick up a bottle of some really good Corellian whiskey, some Wyron's Reserve, and bring that to Boss to settle it for.
Okay. So the info that you sent to the rebel gave basically your GPS coordinates to your comlink. So as you guys are pushing through the streets, you see a band of men moving towards you, and you recognize one of them as this old grizzled Corellian. He's like in his 60s.
Okay.
And his name is Blastblade. You've met him a few times.
Last what?
Blastblade.
Okay.
And he's got a whole crew with him, and he says, I heard you needed help.
Yeah, we're glad to see you. Just need to pick up the senator, and then we'll be on our way.
Where to?
Well, where can you take us? Is there any place that's safe?
Oh, there's a few secret bases somewhat nearby. I don't want to discuss it on the street.
Good plan.
So he and there's about like 10 of them, and they all join up with you and head towards the docking bay. And you guys come around the corner to the docking bay, and just as you step in, the houndstooth lifts off the ground and takes off into space.
I'm going to try to calm him.
There is nothing. There's no response at all. I assume that's your senator.
I'm going to throw.
What's the Helmstooth?
The houndstooth is the name of the Bosk's ship.
The ship that we got here on that still has the senator aboard.
Yeah.
And the whole reason we were trying to get 15,000 credits was to pay off Bosk, the pilot of that ship. Well, he's certainly not getting the extra 5,000 now.
I don't suppose you have a ship.
I do. It's old, but it'll do.
Well, you can almost buy our own ship for 15.
Yeah, but who's gonna fly it, dude?
Well, I think our good friend is going to fly it. But
It's
we
not
gotta
a skater, but I'm no slouch.
We need to find her. Is there any way to track a ship like that, or is it?
Well, the senator has her
Okay.
comlink, which I would assume you guys have some sort of.
All right. So let's see if we can get into space and chase after him.
All right. And cliffhanger. So, there we go.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go ahead and end the recording here. So I'm going to stop the broadcast in just a second. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time when we get to episode 3. See you next time. Bye.